Hi everyone, welcome to the noon draw here at the Yale Super Spiel, or College Bond Spiel here at the Nutmeg Curling Club. We are in the second round of games for our uh, round robin play, and this is the Group B. There are three groups, A, B, and C. And after they play, it's not full round robin, but they'll be playing three games within their groups, and then based on the standings at that point, we'll be seeded into a number of different finals with the three group winners and the best second place team going into the A event final. So looking at who we have out there now, we have RIT is the Red Rocks on sheet A on the left side of your screen, playing against Tufts MIT mixed team. On sheet B, Bowdoin 2 is taking the Red Rocks against MIT and playing yellow. And on sheet C, which will be the game we'll be focusing on at least to start, we have the Yale 2 team with the Red Rocks taking on SUNY Poly 1 in yellow. And both of these teams won their first game, so the winner here looking to go to 2-0 and hopefully get into good position when it gets time to seed. We can take a quick look at the overhead view there to see where we're at in the end. Looks like the SUNY Poly team sitting one in the back 8. And Blake Hagberg just coming down to throw his first skips rock here in the first end. Yale has the hammer, so those two center guards definitely good for Blake and the SUNY Poly squad. So shots away, sweepers are on it early. Looks like he's trying to put a second one in, although this may just end up being another center guard, hardly the end of the world. They're on it hard, actually, looks like for line, because this has the weight. Will it slip by? Nope, does clip that that tight center line guard. Rolls into the rings, but is sitting fifth shot, and with only one rock left for yellow, that one shouldn't be a factor. Yale skip Patrick Huang looking to throw his first rock now. Not sure what he's looking at. With that broom, there's a couple of possibilities. He could be coming off his own red, but my guess is that he thinks he can throw down weight and chip out that yellow in the back 8. He doesn't need to throw a lot of weight. He throws back line, he'll move it enough to sit 2. Only needs to move it a few inches, so certainly possible that this is there. Rocks away. A little directional sweeping early, but it looks like it's coming in nicely. If it can get over there, it may not get down to the yellow to move it, but it will sit for shot. So a nice draw there from Patrick. And we've already highlighted the SUNY Poly team, but just to remind, Blake Hagberg is the skip here. And he's from New Hartford, New York, majoring in business administration at SUNY Poly. And he wants everyone to know that he competed on the USA Junior National Luge team before he curled. And he wants to say hello to Audrey Foote, so if Audrey's listening, hello. We have, Mike Hope, we have fun facts on all the teams. We have the interesting facts. Yeah. Blake's, or he did, yeah. Blake's rocks away. And this one's going to come right down to the red that Patrick just threw. Maybe it's a little bit of a bounce. Will sit 1 for SUNY Poly, but Patrick's probably going to try to come down there, get to nose, pop it back. Only needs to move it a couple feet, and he'll get 2. Even potentially a shot for 3, but that'd be very difficult. You'd have to just get by the red, chip out the back yellow, move the back yellow, the one in the back 8 a couple inches. So really the focus here will be on getting 2, just making sure you get at least to the nose of that yellow, making sure that rock gets out of there and take your 2 in the first end. So Patrick Wong in the hack here, throwing his final rock of the first. His interesting fact is that he's self-proclaimed really good at asking people to proms. He wants to say hi to his mom, his dad, and his sister. Patrick's a Canadian transplant. He's originally from Montreal, Quebec, also from Belmead in New Jersey, and he is a third-year med student at Yale. This looks like it's sailing a little bit narrow. Gonna crash on the guard. That's gonna leave a steal of 1 for SUNY Poly, and they'll take an early 1-0 lead heading into the second. And we'll make sure we get you the we'll make sure we get you some score updates on the other 2 sheets as they have just finished up. On sheet B, Bowdoin 2 did score 1 in the first to take a 1-0 lead over MIT. Still finishing up the first on sheet A. They were a couple minutes later, I think, than the other 2 sheets starting. So right now, looks like RIT is sitting 3 over there on sheet A, but we'll keep you abreast of the situation. Okay. SUNY Poly starts the end with a center line guard, a little off the center line, but guard in the 4-foot for sure. So let's go through the Yale 2 team as they come up to play here. Gregory Dellis is the lead, throwing his first rock. He's from Manhasset, New York. First-year undergrad at Yale and undecided on his major right now, and wants to say hi to Beyonce. So hello, Beyonce, if you're watching. Seems unlikely, but a good shout out there. Trying to come around the guard here, but looks like it's going to sail just a bit deep, probably just under hack weight there. So still early. Team's trying to find the draw weight a little bit. Greg's interesting fact was also that a crocodile can't poke its tongue out. So good to know if you ever meet any crocodiles, and they can't sass you by putting their tongue out. The lead for SUNY Poly 1 is Daniel Coletta from Colony, New York, majoring in network and computer security. He wants to say hi to Jen Das. And he just made a beautiful draw around that guard, right to the top of the 4-foot, fully buried. That's going to be something Yale's going to have to struggle to deal with a bit here as the end moves along. Looks like he's just going to follow it down for now. Makes plenty of sense. They're going to have Gregory try to draw right to the corner of it. Looks like that one just going to overcurl a bit. He's going to leave a corner guard. A usable result, not what they were looking for, but certainly having the corner guard up there is not bad if Yale can find a way to use it later in the end. We're into the second rocks, and that means Luke Sanders is up for SUNY Poly 1 from Rochester, New York. He's majoring in applied math. Wants to say hi to Zora Thamova. Ooh. And that'll be a Pretty good centerline guard here. Patrick's going to take off one of these guards. He's going for the one that's a little closer to the house, rather than peeling the one that's guarding the rock on the forefoot at the moment. Could go either way with this. Throwing the rock for Yale as this peel comes in. Looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit to the nose. Nope, it's that's going to be a real nice peel. Good shot by Elizabeth. And I apologize to Elizabeth, especially just since I volunteered to coach them. Elizabeth Coquillette. Not sure I pronounced her last name right, but she's from Cleveland, Ohio. Majoring in cognitive science at Yale. And wants us all to know, she wants to say hi to Moby. Moby is her little dog who is named after Moby Dick. She also owns a lot of fish. So hi, Moby. If someone at home has a stream on, you might recognize your name. That'd be cute. All right. Another draw into the forefoot. This one's actually going to end up back 4, back 8. Trying to bury it back there where it can't be directly used by Yale. Looks like Yale can sit on this and count. It will still be behind the tee line.
I like that about it. Like, you constantly switch hands.
There's going to be room for a couple rocks behind the button here as they stack them up here. Elizabeth throwing her second rock. Line looks good. It looks like it might be a little heavy for what they were looking for, though. It's going to have to break back a lot, and I think at the weight it's on, it's just not going to get back enough to get a piece. Maybe just a tick. Does move it a foot or so back. Let's see, now it's all the way in the back 8, but fully buried. We now have 2 SUNY Poly rocks buried around that guard. And Skip Blake Hagberg just going to call for here in the top 12 to further guard these 2 rocks, take away any sort of run back. Decides against it after seeing that they're there fully buried. Looks like he's kind of thinking about what he wants to do here. He's looking at a few different possible calls. Just trying to figure out where the ideal place is to leave that guard. And yeah, he wants to go partially buried under that yellow guard here. If you half bury this, it'll mean there's no angles for runbacks either on the first or second yellow guard. Make it tough to go after those counters right now. Yale still does have the forefoot to draw to, but it's going to be tough to take 2 here because there's really nowhere to hide where they would count. Rock coming in here from Jeremy Zhang, a computer engineering major from Colony, New York. He has a PhD in philosophy. That rock sails through the house, so no guard there. Still a pretty good position for SUNY Poly, though. Jeremy, because he wants to let us know he has a PhD in philosophy, and he also wants to say hi to Blake Hagberg. So Blake won't hear this unless he goes back and listens to the stream afterwards, since he's currently skipping for the team. But nice shout out for the skip. All right, coming up here as the vice for Yale 2 is Fabian Schrey from all the way here from Germany. He's got his he's getting his PhD in economics at Yale. He's also the current president of the Yale Curling Club. That one slides just by the guard to chip out the top yellow, leaving only the one in the back 8. Guessing they were playing the peel on the guard, but that's not a bad alternative result. That was the more dangerous of the 2 rocks in the house for SUNY Poly. So, so Fabian, under his interesting facts, puts that he's running the spiel with Michael Cohen, another Yale curler. They're the ones who organized the spiel. And he says he's not sure where he's from because he's lived in 7 countries over the course of his life. And he wants to say hello both to Mike Boozer and his wife, Helene. All right, very solid rock there from Jeremy. putting it top 12. Acting as a further guard for the rock in the back 8. Makes it a little tougher to draw down there. If Yale wanted to play a draw, they might be able to slip through on the left side to get down to that yellow rock, but I like the call here to peel off the top one first. Let's deal with a rock that could be very dangerous as it goes on. Fabian slips by the, just slips by the guard and does manage to remove the yellow rock. Leaves his red there sitting top 12, which not ideal considering it takes away the access to the yellow rock, but red rock is now sitting second. They might have access to that yellow one the other way, which means Yale could still play for 2 here, the way the end's shaping up.
Fargo is not that bad. I mean, there's nothing to do, but you're not gonna like. North Dakota. Oh. Yeah.
I was thinking it was like some obscure town in like New York or like.
No, yeah, it's North Dakota. It's North Dakota. And it's the big city in North Dakota. No, South Dakota. That's why it's the lame Dakota. And no.
Blake Hagberg throwing his first skips rock of the end for SUNY Poly here. Didn't see the shot call. Looks like he might be trying to come around that red in the top 12 and sit 2. Might just clip it though. This could work out okay if yellow sits 2, as they did. Certainly a possible double for Yale, but that's a pretty thin double.
No, sorry. No, it was my turn. It was your turn.
And I'm not sure that's what Patrick's even going to go for here. Looks like I'm being joined by commentator extraordinaire, Jeff Hannon. How's it going, Jeff?
Well, it's going well, Ed. How are you?
Not bad. Ready for a long day of curling.
Yes.
Draw 3 of 7 today.
Yeah, I understand the ice crew was here, dark 30 this morning.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of work for the ice crew this weekend with so many games in play. We were talking to Bobby Stoll last night, who's also on the ice crew, just about some of the measures, unusual things you might have to try to do for with having 7 games back to back. Do some pebbling, and there's that one's going to sail through again. Very light on the handle and leaving it leaving those 2 yellows sitting 1-2. Blake's going to have a chance to guard here. Force Patrick to make something good to get his 1.
It's nice having this tiny hand.
I didn't even think about it when I played. I was just. There was a card I had.
Everyone's got a 7, the red 7.
So I don't know how many of these people you're familiar with in the college curling world. Probably a handful. I mean.
Yeah, a few of the people.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is there an age limit for college curling?
There is, and I don't want to say the specifics. It's I believe the year you turn 27. If you turn 27 by January 1st, you can't play the following season. So 27, and you might turn 28 and still be eligible because of the rules. But yeah, 27 is the cutoff at a certain date.
So I couldn't go back to school and
no,
start college curling. Be interesting.
It would. They're most of the people out here, and the person throwing right now is an exception. Blake, I think guys picked it up. Blake may have started in college. I don't know. I know he's been curling for several years now, and he's a very good curler, but not sure if he started before college or not. But most of the people out here are people who learned curling in college. So rock's coming in. Looks like it's going to be more of a center line guard. Going to leave that shot rock open.
Yeah.
Over-curled, if that's what they were most likely playing there. And Patrick will have a chance to hit and stick for his 1. Has to be a good stick. Doesn't have much room to roll. That yellow one in the back. But
yeah,
if he gets it on the inside, he'll be fine.
Drop, yeah. Ice looks pretty quick this morning.
Yeah, looks like it's in good shape so far. Haven't heard any complaints.
No, I timed a few rocks when I was over there having lunch, and it's getting 24 seconds hog to stop on the tee line. So
nice.
that's a nice speed.
This is
That's a little wide. I think he dumped that a bit.
Maybe a little overcompensating for the first rock, which came in narrow. And, yeah, that ends up sailing wide. So it's going to be a steal of 2 for SUNY Poly, giving them a 3-0 lead after the first 2 ends. Just looking at the scores in the other 2 sheets, they're both playing the second. It's RIT has a 2-0 lead over the Tufts MIT team. And as I said before, Bowdoin did take 1 in the first. Bowdoin took 1 in the first, and I'll stay on there. They're currently sitting a whole lot as we head into the final rock for. This is the house on V, and looks like it's 3 red right now. And I think we're playing some kind of a tap here for MIT.
That's a lot of weight for a tap.
Yeah, that might be close.
The game starts at 5 years.
Oh, will they get a little bit of an angle off that red to outcount something? No, I think that's still going to be 3 red. At least 3 red. They're checking for 4 also, so. Oh.
Fine by me.
Wait, let me. It's far away.
We'll get you an update on that score there on sheet B in a minute, Aaron. It's 3 for sure.
Yeah, definitely at least 3, and
Could have been. It was close for 4.
it was, but they didn't measure, so it must have been clear either way, and that makes me think it was 3. All right, first rock in the house for SUNY Poly here, and Yale's going right after it, playing this hit. Looks like it's gonna curl in nicely here for Greg. All right, makes the hit, sticks right there on the pin. We have our interesting fact sheets for Yale 2 and SUNY Poly 1. At least you have the names if you need them. I've already gone through all the information they provided, but.
I can't keep a straight face.
Patrick might be looking to keep it simple here in the third end after giving up steals in 1 and 2. SUNY Poly team is a very solid team, and I think they will be able to hit if you just leave them open hits most of the time. So likely, if you play this way, you'll take 1, and that might even be what he's thinking. Just hope to play a good clean end. And
Yeah, make some good throws and just get
Right,
your
get a
feet
little
back under
confidence
you.
there.
And
yeah. This one's down now. And you end up throwing a
that's going to be a corner
guard
guard.
in the second. Okay.
Very courteous, Steve. Yeah. Want some food? Want some food?
He might have been trying to draw down to that yellow rock.
It might have been. I wasn't sure about the call, but in any case, the result's fine because they got a corner guard out of the deal. They're gonna be okay with that. And see Poly, I think, calling for the guard here on the rock, which is right on the top of the button. And gonna end up with a nice 2-3 guard there. 3 guard. Just about fully burying it.
The curl in the ice, though, it looks like you can get around guards
Could, certainly, if they wanted to
with
leave that there and just play around
backline
it,
weight
they
or
could.
something.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those shots here on C so far today already. Elizabeth Colquitt. Colquitt's appeal is going to make it on the low side of the rock, so that'll work out okay. Nice little controlled appeal. Elizabeth is in her first Bonspiel. She's one of our one of the couple of undergrads as part of the Yale Club. The Yale Club's mostly graduate students, medical students, and the like. This is her first Bonspiel, and she's actually been playing really well. We're happy to see her out there playing, and yeah.
Excellent.
对，他们是红色，现在落后3个球。
That guard's got to curl a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they are finishing pretty good late, but this one does have to move.
No,
Gonna be half covered again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Patrick might consider going. No, he's just gonna peel again. This certainly goes along with how he started the end by hitting a rock in the house, that he wants to keep it clean. Down by 3, you could definitely make a case for ignoring this stuff and going right in, but if he just wants to try to play a nice easy end for his team, this makes a lot of sense. And Elizabeth makes her second peel, so second does their job, peels off the guards when they're asked to do it, and see if Yale can come up with a good opportunity here. They're going to need either at some point to decide to go on one of those sort of half guards or miss.
Yeah, if we don't get the guard in the right spot, you got to go at some point.
Yeah. It did end up being 3 on sheet B, so it's Bowdoin 4, MIT nothing after 2. Just finishing up the second end on sheet A. Looks like Yellow drawing for 1. Maybe a little heavy, but could get a wick. Nope. Gonna slide through, so that'll be a steal of 1 for RIT to give them a 3-0 lead. This rock comes a little tighter to the rings. It's actually biting the top 12 and the SUNY Poly Sim 2. But it looks like Patrick wants him to try to play the double. With peel weight.
Oh, it's your turn. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you just take it out and roll away, that's fine too.
Yeah,
but,
that's not bad at all.
This is the opportunity, right? You've got to make a.
Sure.
Got to try this.
My turn.
It's going to just be a
I think
peel.
it's just a peel. It's not far off, but it's going to be it's going to get just over the top of that one. Yeah. Okay, gets the peel. Sort of the status quo of the last 6 rocks or so. We have SUNY Poly guarding and Yale peeling for now.
And that was the second rock, right? Lead second. So that they're trying to throw 6 perfect guards in a row here.
Yeah.
Not always easy to do.
Yeah, they drew in the lead hit on the second rock and then guarded with the third rock. So yeah. Speaking of which, it's the first rock from the SUNY Poly Vice, Jeremy Zhang. Trying to... his second rock. This is his second guard. And
that one's going to overcurl.
This one is overcurling, so now's going to be the time, I imagine, that Patrick's going to call for Fabian to hit this yellow. And if he throws a nice control weight and get behind those guards. You got a couple nice staggered guards on the right side of the sheet to use. Fabian quickly in the hack and throwing his rock.
That's a little tight.
Go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a release issue because it looked like he came out on the broom. Maybe he tried to over adjust, but could actually end with a red rock. Nope. I thought he might end up with a red rock in play, but unfortunately he left center guard too.
And staggered, so there's really no run back there. And
for now, you could get around that red. It's high enough, like you said, with a down weight and tap it back. But Blake's going to try to prevent that by throwing up a guard on the right side of the sheet.
That would be fun if it did have this. But it's not. Yeah. I don't know enough about Game of Thrones.
I caught up on Thursday night, just in time.
Nice.
So perfect.
Oh wait, you finished the first 7 seasons?
Now the color's green.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Say you're probably, you're familiar with. I'm trying to think of who out here you would know personally. You know Cody, and you know a few of the Yale curlers, and that might be just about the extent of
pretty
your
much
personal knowledge here.
And that's a good guard, and that's going to make it really tough now.
Yeah, very difficult to get in there now. It's a long run on the red. Might be the best.
Yeah, there's still Still an overlap. I don't know if the angle works to run the red back. It looks.
Well, I'm just looking at the overhead. I think you can, because you probably actually have to catch it like just outside on the red anyway to make it nose on the yellow. It should be okay. The overhead view kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it, but it's we're looking at about 16 feet or so.
It's pretty long. It's
a long one.
It's 15 feet from the hog line to the top of the house.
Yeah, and he's probably about as far past the hog as that rock is in the house, so somewhere around 15 feet. And just nose or fractionally off nose or nose with the well, he won't impart the right spin for a nose, so just off nose should do it.
That's going to be just a straight peel.
Yeah, just going to catch a quarter of the rock. Will it this one catch the red and roll?
Oh,
nope,
no.
Still haven't been able to. Just a couple times that catcher is almost coming to play, which would be nice for. Yale would appreciate that if it would roll off and sit second, because then it puts two back in play. But well, we're just going to get a guard here, and then it's going to be tough to find a shot for Patrick to score. It might be a run back double for a blank. If this is a good guard, that might be his best opportunity to do anything in the end.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna. It's be very, very difficult to outdraw that rock.
Yeah, I mean, just
half in the button, and
you'd have to come on the left side probably, just based on where that rock is.
Like right as you got there, they had never mind.
Supers are on this guard pretty hard. Weight looks fine though.
They're going to need to move just a bit at the end, but they're on it. And this should be more than sufficient. That's going to close off the angle. You're not going to fit a rock through there. So
no, there's
they're looking at the draw. On the side of the ice where the guard sire would be easier to come around. The issue is that the yellow rock in the house is a little bit staggered to that side too, so you can't just a tiny bit off the center line. Makes it very hard to get. So this is the tighter guard to get around, but I think he's just playing the run back double, trying to blank the end.
Trying, hopefully.
Draw might be there, but this is it's a very difficult shot because you're going to have to get close to that tight yellow guard on that side of the ice and then slip past the one on the top button too. This isn't easy because it's a little bit staggered with that guard.
Yeah, you have to. I think if you hit what you can see.
It's close if you hit what you see, right? Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, he might have a chance here. Did he get it? Oh, he did. Did get the rock in the house. Caught it a little too thick and does leave it as a steal of one for SUNY Poly, but a real good effort there from Patrick.
Excellent shot.
A nicely thrown rock. All right, I'm going to leave you in control for a bit while I grab some lunch. So slide over and enjoy Jeff's stellar insights into the game.
I'm saying they don't. I'm gonna.
So SUNY Poly up 4-0 after that steal of one in the third end. And slide over here into the production area of the broadcast.
This is why I think it's real house. I like that. Yeah, Chelsea gets asked me.
I Uno in the 90s, probably.
Give her a quick summary of the actual rules and then throw.
The last time I played Uno was probably before some of you were. Actual rules.
Oh, guard off the center line ends up to be a corner guard, so Yale's going to try to go around that.
Reverse and skip. Evan, didn't you just have McDonald's last night?
Are you playing?
Patrick asking
I would like to.
Gregory to draw behind that yellow guard that's out there, and it looks like it's going to over curl. and end up.
Only eight can fit, and like you just pop one out. The other's like,
Yeah, the yellow one goes out of play. That's a free guard zone violation. The yellow one goes back to where it was, and the red comes out.
I'm gonna use the potato. That works. That's same shape, roughly same color.
you didn't feel.
Yeah, he was confusingly covered in half a mile.
No, I got it.
They get it back approximately where it was, but
I have 6.
still a guard.
No.
Alright. Are you with you? So it's like a very specific.
And Blake is going to ask for another guard. This one closer to the center line, hopefully.
It looks like this is like my age.
Alright, so for you two, there are 3 additional rules that we're playing with. Are those actual cards?
And getting down to skips rocks on the sheets A and B. This game here on C obviously is going much quicker.
If you have the exact same card that's on top, same color and number, you can play out of turn. It continues from that person. So if it's your turn and there's a green 4 on top, you can play a green 4 and then it's your turn.
Okay. Okay.
The other rule is draw 2 decks. So if you play a draw
Patrick asking for the draw again, and that yellow guard. This one looks much better. The line's better. Weight looks good. Oh, I think they waited too long to sweep it though. Yeah, it's going to overcurl. The weight was actually decent.
I missed the ginger I got.
A little bit more weight would have gotten around that guard. SUNY Poly's looking at a draw for themselves. And a corner guard. What I'll call a corner guard. It's not that far wide, but it's important here that this one stays in front of the T line. If you get too deep, and then Yale can follow it down and sit on top of it and really set up an end. Try to score multiple points. Sheet B is starting up their fourth end.
There's a lot of like lunging. Hold on.
And it looks like
KP, there's someone sitting next to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, okay. For the draw, choose.
sure who's what. Oh, Bowdoin.
They don't have to be the same color.
Bowdoin scored again. They stole another one, so that's 5-0. Bowdoin over MIT.
You play any draw. Any draw two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. No, I understand, but
And the draw behind that guard came up just short. And Patrick's going to try to clear up some of that mess that's out front. Unfortunately, he's going to end up tapping Yellow Rock in, kind of behind that corner guard now. And they're looking for a little tap.
You had 2 cards that were identical to each other. You can play them at the same time.
And that Yellow Rock that's pretty close to the center line, just in front of the house.
That's right. Pass. Oh.
Yeah, get all your cards.
No.
Oh, this is not a bad game.
You don't sort.
I don't
I know.
It's just random.
There on sheet A, it looks like Tufts MIT is sitting 1 in the 4-foot. Still a few rocks to go over there. I think this is just the skips rock starting over there. Tap attempt looks a little light. It's going to end up being a draw instead. It's going to overcurl. And it did just get it into the house.
I don't get to go now.
But I can.
Sitting 2.
That was an unnecessary piling on at the same time.
They're both just biters, however.
So if you have nothing.
People just want to be spiteful.
You have to draw so you can.
Still lots of room to score.
Sometimes I like to just wait a minute to see if something's
And I'm going to take out the rock on the center line, but it looks like it's going to be pretty close to the nose. It is. And actually just leaves the red there as another guard. I need to open that up some. As Blake says, I'm going to use that rock he just threw and try to draw behind it.
I mean, that rule recently became popular because it's the rule no one follows. Yeah. So. I don't know. Are we playing
now it is
when
red.
it is your turn?
Oh.
So you draw 4, and then what?
Parker calls
And then he picks a collar, and then it's your turn.
You. Oh, because you drew it.
Red.
Yeah. Your
It's
turn.
your turn. And your turn was just drawn.
His turn was just drawn.
People
Yeah.
in the room just
Got
sitting
it.
I'm taking plenty of ice. You don't want to wreck on
But I wanted to make him draw 4.
that red rock. If you end up over curling and you have good draw weight, it's going to end up tapping that red one in. So plenty of ice. Only have to get half behind it. This looks a little. This looks pretty good actually. And curling very much at the end. A little bit heavy maybe. No. Oh, that's a really good draw. Top 4 foot. Mostly buried behind that red rock, but enough of it so that they can't really get inside and roll up behind the guard. So throw the run back here, but I think he's just trying to pick out the yellow. It's a little wide. Here it comes. And trying to sweep it to get it to curl a little bit, and just gonna go right, just barely past it. So SUNY Poly has a chance here to throw a guard up and really, again, set up a great chance to steal. There's a lot of rocks out front. And there's really no good way to get to the draw to the 4 foot if this guard is made well. I want to try to cover up that red a little bit so you can't make a run back on the red, because the red run back there on that red rock that's just in front of the house is still available.
Sharker, you know what card he has? I do.
And we have filming taking place out there on the side of sheet C. That's a really good guard, nice and long. It does cover up a piece of that red. Not sure if there's a hole there or not. Take a look at the overhead. I don't think so. I don't think so. The camera's a little deceiving sometimes. Looking at it live out the window here, it doesn't look like it. I'm going to try to clean up some of those guards. It helps a little bit, but there's still 2 long guards up there pretty close to the center line, and Blake's going to fill up that hole. Let's get rid of some of those rocks that were on the right side of the left side of the sheet as you're looking on your monitor. And that could leave a draw to the 4 foot and be pretty difficult. But that yellow rock is just barely touching the 4 foot, so you can get in there and score 1 with a good draw. And Blake is going to throw the guard here to fill up that hole in between the yellow rock and the red rock, which will take away the hit on shot rock. Over on sheet A, we have Tufts MIT takes 3 in the third end to tie that game up. So that game over there is tied 3-3. And good guard by Blake fills up that spot. So Patrick has to make a choice here. Does he want to try a run back on that long red? Again, that's going to be pretty long run back, but
Well, curling tournaments, which we call spiels, they are traditionally themed, especially in the more slow.
possibly could get around the long yellow guards with down weight and get to that shot rock. It is overburied behind that guard. And it looks like Patrick has decided on the run back.
Are you Lannister?
Today I am apparently because I'm wearing a Lannister t-shirt.
But like, I didn't have the right card.
So long run back.
A year or more before we get our final season.
Red rock. A little bit high on the broom side.
What order is it going in?
It's going this way.
Rock's on its way. Line looks pretty good. It's got a curl. It's going to be pretty. Might get the outside yellow. No. Like between everything. Let's open up that side of the sheet. I think Blake was just going to put another guard over there. It's sitting 3, yellow sitting 3. And no reason to get another one in the house.
Oh, and I get to keep my color still red. Yeah, but I'm still saying red. Oh, yeah.
Which way is it going now?
No,
This way?
I'm just waiting.
Yeah, we marked it.
You both have to draw one
No, they're not stacked.
We need to call a table like
I want this guard to be pretty tight, so it takes away the draw. The draw's not easy now, but putting a tight guard make it even harder. Essentially, that rock that's in the just touching the 12-foot biter up there is kind of in the way of the draw. It's going to be all right. So I did throw another one in. So SUNY Poly now sitting 4 without the hammer. Patrick, his last rock here, needs to find a way to score. There's the hole over on that side. And Patrick says, all right, I need a draw. Even if it just gets it into the 8-foot, cut him down to 1, that would be good. And 4-foot is open over there.
It's blue now. Not blue. Okay, red. So I'm cool with red. Red's fine.
I don't have any red.
Draw through that, in between those 2 long guards, the red and the yellow. On the right side of the sheet as you're looking at on your screen. Patrick thinks it's a little hot. And it looks like it's going to just stay out there.
You let that go for a
No, I didn't have a handle on it. Ice Crew did its voodoo last week and magically put some curl in these rocks. I'm not going to tell you what we did because it might have involved sacrificing a chicken. But what that means is the running surface is a little sharp, so it grabs the ice better, which makes it curl. But it means you also have to put a good handle on it because it grabs the ice and will stop rotating. Patrick didn't get much of a handle there, and it actually just kind of changed and went the other direction. So that was a steal of 4 for SUNY Poly. So they're now ahead 8-0 over Yale 2. Over on B, Bowdoin is up 5-0 over MIT. But MIT has a rock in a really good spot. No, MIT is yellow, and it looks like they're sitting shot, and if Bowdoin would attempt to take that out, they would end up taking themselves out, and then MIT would be sitting possibly 3. So I believe they're trying to guard that shot, playing the scoreboard a little bit, up 5-0. We might as well give them 1, that's fine. But if MIT made that shot well, they could be sitting 3 or 4. And this is the last rock for Bowdoin. And the weight looks good. Yeah, it's actually heavy. Wow. So that shot is there. Yellow hits their own rock. What the hell was that? Not sure what this putting down the broom does. I don't know if that was measuring. Looking at the angle. Either one of those is really in the spirit of curling. So, let's go back to the overhead here for a second. MIT comes down and hits that yellow rock that's top of the button. You hit it right and stay, they should get 4. Right now they're sitting 1st, 3rd, and 4th. If they could keep the shooter, they'd get 4. Rock's on its way. I'll stay here for a second. I'll get back to Yale and SUNY Poly after this end complete. And wide. And misses everything. So MIT scores 1. So that game is now 5-1. Bowdoin over MIT.
He's trying to leave it there for
here on sheet C, it looks like SUNY Poly's sitting 1 top 12 and a couple of guards, one very long guard. And they're going to put up another guard. It seems to have been working well for them so far, as they're up 8-0 at this point. See what Patrick does. I think it's time to start throwing some draws, and I think that's what he's talking about. You need to get some rocks in the house so you're not chasing when you get down to skip rocks. I was asking Elizabeth for a draw here behind those guards. It looks like it's going to over-curl. Sheet A is still working on their 4th end. And right now there are no rocks in the house on sheet A, so it looks like a draw is being asked for. Tufts MIT. No, Lizard's Rocks was light actually, and it just ended up being another guard. And Blake's going to ask for a draw behind all those guards, a long line of guards.
Do I draw? Or do I take somebody else? It's more complicated than you think.
Just going to leave it short, actually, and it's going to be another guard. And Patrick's asking for the draw again.
Yeah, got her.
It's my turn? Why?
It looks better on this one. Super's on it there. It's going to overcurl.
No, not the second time.
And then put it down.
I have to say it again?
Yeah, every time you get down to one. Like this.
Again, I think that's more a factor of not quite enough rotation on the rock. It just kind of grabs and drifts sideways. Looks like Blake might be going around these guards now with his third Jeremy. And over on sheet A, we still have no rocks in the house. Nothing exciting happening over there. This one looks pretty good. The weight looks pretty close. Might be a drop heavy. Blake gonna sweep it in. Oh, it's gonna be really good. Pretty much on the button. So SUNY Poly now sitting 2, one at the top 12, and then just the top of the button. Patrick's going to try to get Fabian to take this out. And it's going to be light, over curl, and become another guard. So Blake's got a good chance here to cover up that rock on the top of the button and set up another really good steal opportunity. Hey, we have a rock in the house over on sheet A. And it's Tufts MIT sitting at the back of the forefoot. Blake asked for this guard here. Hoopers are on and off it, so weight's pretty good. Line's good. Yeah, they're going to make sure it's over. It is. And it's not. I think they didn't want to sweep it because it was curling too much, but they didn't get it over the hog line, so. I believe Tufts MIT scored 1 over there on sheet A, so nice comeback over there for them. They're now ahead 4-3 after being down 3-0. And draw coming down, or lightweight tap. And doesn't take it out and actually pushes it behind that wall of granite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rocks on that side of the center line. Roughly 280 pounds of granite out there in the way of that yellow rock. A sitting shot. And the shooter rolled open, so Blake's going to get rid of it. Roll in would be fine. Rolling out would be even better, I think, in this case. You really don't want to nose this and leave Patrick a hit and roll into the forefoot. Just make the red one go away and try Try not to nose it. And
I wouldn't want to.
wow. Ends up over curling. Weight was down a little bit and ends up flashing the red one. And second shot. Patrick can throw a draw here. The 4-foot's open on the left side of the sheet as you're looking at it. So this will be the in-turn for the right-hander. Clockwise rotation. Got to make sure you got enough rotation on it so it doesn't go sideways like this last rock in the fourth end. Watch this delivery since it's right here outside my window. Not a lot of handle. Not a lot of handle. It's really going sideways. It looks good. Scoopers are on it a little bit now because it's going to over curl. Not a bad spot. Could be tapped up the next time and see if Blake wants to guard that tap or try the hit again. As he's coming down the ice backwards, I think they're still talking about it. And now he's going to go back down. Based on where the broom is, this could be a hit on the red that's back there pretty much on the tee line, or it could be a guard. The broom's pretty much the same for either shot. Blake's a left-hander, so this would be an out turn for him. Clockwise rotation, but throwing it left-handed. The opposite for a right-hander. And it is the guard. Cover up that red rock so that Patrick can't tap it. And a little piece of the red sticking out. Not enough, I don't think, to get a good angle for the tap. I think Patrick might be forced to the draw again here. Oh, now he's taking a broom for tap. Yeah, I guess half that red rock is sticking out.
It's like a rap song. Like, I've been here since day one.
Gotta get pretty close to that yellow guard that Blake just threw.
Like, did he have a car?
A lot of ice for tap. And the tap is essentially a draw where a rock gets in the way. And that's way more than tap weight. And he's trying to angle the red one back onto the yellow one, possibly. Oh, pretty close. Nope. So SUNY Poly's going to steal another one here. No, it's now 9-0. SUNY Poly over Yale 2. Patrick still has not been having a lot of easy shots on his skip rock, so makes it tough when you're going to make these really hard ones every single in. Let's stay on this view here for a minute, try to catch up on these other two games. Over on A, the RAT's got the hammer this end, the 5th, throwing the red rocks. They have shot rocks sitting top 4. It looks like it's pretty open. And on sheet B, Bowdoin in control of this game after only giving up 1 in the 4th. And they're currently sitting 3 with the hammer. They're up 5-1. Seat C would just have SUNY probably throwing up a center guard. It's worked for him the entire game, so really no reason to change now. Other choice, you're up 9-0. You could put a rock in the 4-foot and see if Yale wants to go and hit it. But we're on Skip's rocks over on sheet B, so we'll stay there for a minute, see what Bowdoin does here. Alright, sitting 3, pretty well guarded. Possibly trying to throw the wide draw around the outside.
As you should.
The target grade.
Well, but also other
traverse a mycelium.
Yeah, all together. They all collaborated.
Literally like a massive.
That's going to end up being a guard, closing up that hole in the middle. Not sure what MIT has here. This is their last rock.
Basically, you put the cornbread in there, and then wipe it down.
That way it looks like you ate it.
Back over here on sheet C. Patrick asked for a draw and got a nice one from.
Oh God, it's so good. I ate so much.
Not sure who that was. That was Gregory, the lead. Nice draw, top 8-foot. On sheet B, this is one of the reasons these games are a little bit behind sheet C, that's for sure, is lots of thinking going on over there. Possibly going through the middle. Oh, sorry about that, folks. It snuck up on me.
No, they just kind of bang on they're like, hello, it's getting a little hot in here.
Also, the
Now we do have food turn. I just realized I hadn't looked to see anyone was watching. I guess they are, so I'm not talking to myself, although I've been known to do that before. And MIT over there on sheet B did try to raise the yellow and didn't get the angle right, so leaves Bowdoin sitting 3. Tried to throw the draw through the hole, get 4, but we'll get up to date on that score. I'm going to cut back over here to Yale. And, Patrick with another nice draw. Puts it in there a little bit deep. Back 4 foot. Gives Blake a chance to ask for a draw down to it. We're still discussing over on sheet B.
How is it? The tail. Yeah.
Or shrimp, yeah.
I think they finally decided on a tap over there. And you should see the draws on its way. It looks pretty good. Swoopers are on and off. Coming in nice. Going to come right down there and pretty good shot. Just enough separation. You might be able to take that out. Yeah, you could hit the yellow one and miss your red one in the back. It's tight. Elizabeth throwing it down. Not a lot of weight on this one. It's going to be more of a tap than a takeout. Line's really good though. No, over curled too much. Drop more weight. Use that yellow back pretty close to the red now, and don't think we can pick that one off there anymore. Blake asking for a rock at the top 8, top 4 would work. Doesn't have to be all the way back to it. Sitting shot back there. Over on sheet B, it looks like Bowdoin got 3, so they're now ahead 8-1 over MIT. Yeah, nice shot here. Great spot. The Swoopers are a little upset that they left it short. They were thinking about trying to get second shot, but I think it's much better there than it would have been any deeper. As Patrick really doesn't have much he can do here except try to move those rocks around a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't think the back yellow one's going anywhere. And if he hits it wrong, he could end up letting SUNY probably sit 2 here. Runs that yellow one back. The yellow on the back 4-foot, go back on the red, get rid of that one. And if the shooter comes back, or not the shooter, but the raised rock comes back and goes to the right side of your screen, you take out that red that's at the back of the 4-foot, and this is going to over curl and just take out the guard. Does roll out of the way at least, so opens up the middle. But Blake can put a guard up here. Or even draw one into the top 12-foot. Look at that tap in that yellow one. I don't know if I do that. Tap it at the wrong angle, you can open up the 4-foot for Patrick. That's what he's calling. Yeah. Rock's on its way. Looks a little heavy. And he's not curling with that weight. He's not coming back. No, weight's pretty good actually. He was just got a little wide, I think, more than anything.
Probably more so than
I don't like baseball either.
That's not bad though. It does leave Patrick this run back, but again, I don't know if that's anything. I'd be running my red one back, I think. I'm trying to tap the red one back that's right next to his broom. He's hitting yellow. And again, I think this one's going to over curl and just get the outside one that was just thrown. Yeah. And that's the danger in that. You see the result there. It ends up tapping that yellow one in. It's now second shot. SUNY Poly sitting 2 without the hammer, but 2 in the forefoot is pretty good. And he's talking about, it looks like they're thinking about a draw. I'm going to cover up the middle of the forefoot. Draw top 4 would be perfect, but really anything on that line is fine. You just want to split the center line, 12 foot, 8 foot.
They're not getting labs. They're Alpha and Beta labs. Alpha labs were every week, and Beta labs.
Jeremy really wants it at the top 4. I don't think Blake is completely sold on that idea yet. And over on sheet A, RIT did score 3 there. It's 6-4. RIT over Tufts MIT. And as I was looking at the scoreboard, I missed what the final verdict was, but based on where the broom is down, I would say top 4, top 8, top 12, somewhere on the center line. Even just across the center line is not awful. Weight looks good, line looks good. Super drawing it hard now. It's a pretty good spot. Pretty much closes off the forefoot. Patrick's looking at this angle here. It's possible. It's possible you get that yellow one in the back forefoot there to squeak between those 2 reds if you make the double. So got to get across the nose of the top yellow. That would leave him sitting shot, possibly as many as 2. Rock's on its way. And looks like it's over curling. And it's going to catch the top yellow one. And again, that's not the result that Patrick was looking for. That did not work out well. So SUNY Poly sitting 3 at this point. All around the button. And I think Blake's going to throw that draw again, just like he did the last one. Put it back there in the top 4. I don't know what Patrick has at that point. Possibly off the inside of one of those yellows to roll into the button.
Someone accidentally dumped their $4.
Yeah, Frappuccino.
This team will play at 8:30.
This one looks heavier than the first one Blake threw. It's going to come down and tap those 2 yellows around a little bit. Rolls to a really good spot though. And I think the only thing Patrick has is the inside off the inside of that yellow one and try to get part of the pin. Going back to the overhead here. It's really difficult. If he rolls inside, at least maybe only give it 2. But got to get inside of that yellow rock. Rock's on its way. Line looks better this time. And it's going to no. Well, you get rid of 2. But SUNY Poly is going to take 2 here and go up 11-0. I'm not sure why we're not hearing the sound of Velcro. But I guess they came to play, so we're going to keep going. Again, I'm going to get up here a little bit on the other 2 games. Again, Sheet B, Bowdoin ahead 8-1. MIT has the hammer there, and looks like Bowdoin is sitting 2 for sure, possibly 3. They're still on Vice Rocks over there.
No, it kind of does matter. They can do 8 if they want.
And Sheet A.
They probably will because it matters for tiebreakers.
All right, T up
Because Patrick's team can still
6 to 4 over Tufts MIT, and
they won really substantially.
Tufts MIT has the hammer, but RIT is sitting 2.
Unless they get blown out in the next game, it'll have teams blown out. I think it's very likely that Sunny's going to be
They're looking at a run back possibly on the yellow one.
You're in our group.
It's a Sheet B house. Bowdoin's no longer shot. They do not have the hammer. Looks like they're going to try to make a run back double here.
I mean, the thing is, if you have then like it's actually an advantage. But they had like they won with someone who was new. You guys
over here on Sheet C, Yale, a couple of yellow guards out front. Yale did get a draw in there behind one of the guards, and Patrick asked for another one. And we take out the yellow one at the top here in Sheet B, but end up running it back onto our own rock. But I believe that red rock is now shot.
that really should have like so it's kind of cool that you guys came back.
And we're down to Skips Rocks over there on B.
Yeah, so
Looks like we're going to make a draw. A quick look at the Yale SUNY Poly here on Sheet C. Red Rock is no longer behind the guard, so Blake's asking for the takeout through that hole. Yeah, looks good. And it's made. And we'll roll to the outside. Rock's open, but it's outside, so Patrick's going to ignore it and go around.
our team doesn't try
Back over here on sheet B, we got a draw on its way for MIT. Sweepers are not interested at all. In fact, when they're almost running to keep up with it, I would say that that would be heavy. And that's going to come down and take out their own, but end up sitting there for a shot. But that rock is open. And Bowdoin looks like they're going to take it out. And if they get it and stay, they'll be sitting 4 without the hammer. Back here. Sheet A, it looks like Tufts MIT is sitting 1 with the hammer. Bowdoin skip going down for his last. Again, they don't have the hammer. But get rid of the yellow one and make it really hold MIT to 1. Sweepers are on it hard, and they got it. Oh. And something I never like to see is that takeout. Back and slammed into the hack. Doesn't make my ice maker's heart feel very good. I'm not sure it did any damage, but so MIT is going to have a draw for 1. Let's
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome that he was able to go out.
so back here on sheet C, SUNY Poly again without the hammer, sitting 2. Patrick's got some Fabian for takeout on the yellows there on the right side. And he threw that out pretty good, so I don't think that's coming back. And draw is light over on sheet B, so Bowdoin's going to end up stealing 4. Go up 12 to 1. And there is the sound of Belker over on sheet B, so Bowdoin wins that game 12 to 1 over MIT.
Yeah, at 29 minutes he finished the end round.
We got a guard over here on sheet C. Pretty good. It does leave a hole, so Patrick asking Fabian to go through that hole and take out the yellow. Sheet A. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. Takeout of some type. And that one curled too much. Over here on sheet C, and clicks on the guard. So There's a chance SUNY Poly to put another guard up, and no, they're going to throw a draw.
The thing is that it's funny with something being head-to-head. Okay. So technically,
Blake has decided he's going to draw around those long guards that are out there and try to get one in the forefoot.
right.
Maybe those two yellow ones on the outside, they're open.
Yeah. But I think the winner of it probably that team sounds good.
Clapping for the two teams that were in GP just coming off the ice. Blake's draw is on its way here. Supers are on it hard now. Mine looks good.
But now it's like a count. Okay.
Weight's really good. Gonna go right to the forefoot. Buried behind all those guards, so it's going to be pretty hard for Patrick to take out. I think it's going to hit and roll off this yellow one out here on the side. Quick look at the house. That yellow that's in the top forefoot there is the one that Blake just threw in there. Draw, nice draw. Patrick's going to try to hit, I believe, the inside yellow, the one that's touching the forefoot, and roll into the button. Sheet A, they're coming down to Skip's Rocks, last rock. Takeout's hanging out there a little bit. Here it comes. He still needs a curl, a drop. Alright, ends up making the double and getting a little bit of a roll, and I think it's very close to whose shot. Look at the monitor up here instead of the screen, and I believe it is. Oh no, that's really close. I had a guess. I think it's red, but I'm not sure. Blake can see a little piece of that, and I believe he's going to try to take it out. And it's just past the yellow enough that it can be removed. That's all right. Yep, it's going to over curl, and it's on the guards. So, over on sheet A, last rock on its way for Tufts MIT. Looks like they're going to score 2 and tie that game up again. So, RIT 6, Tufts MIT 6. And I believe Patrick is going to throw a draw here, try to get a second point. I don't think that red guard's in the way. It's covering the edge of the forefoot, but it's so long, and you get past it, it's going to easily get into the forefoot. It's already curling. I think it's already on that guard. The sweepers are on it, trying to hold it out there. and not going to get there. So we're going to go look at these two rocks and point, and I want to be touching rocks. Yeah, well, I think it was red, but I'm not sure. We'll find out here in a second and see who gets in the hack. Oh, Fabian's going to go hang a square, so maybe they did get one. All right. So 11-1, and that game is officially over because they're mathematically eliminated. It's not possible to score 10 in an end, so I believe that they're going to bring the rocks back. Or I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, if they have time, one of the tiebreakers this weekend is number of ends won.
Really?
So they, so they may play the 8th just to play it and see if Yale can win another end, or even, obviously SUNY Poly for seeding. It's 3 round robin groups of 6 teams, but they're not actually playing a full round robin. They're playing 3 games using a system similar to what we use in chess, where they're ranked after each round, and then the 1 plays 2, 3 plays 4, 5 plays 6 in each group, but not playing the same team twice. So you play the next team down if you make sure you get 3 unique matchups. But this round, so instance, these teams were the 1 and 2 teams in their pool as it worked out after the first round. They were playing each other. The game on A is very close, though. If you want to look at that.
Yeah, they went down 3-0, and then they came back and tied it. And
the Tufts MIT team just tied it up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's 3-3 over there.
Yeah, they're going to the 7th, which I'm guessing, based on the time, is going to be their last. In fact, it will be their last end. With a tight schedule, they are timing the games, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to let you sit down. I'm going to take a break here.
Yeah, I'll catch the last end of these games.
I did check, and there are actual people watching, so.
Yeah, well, excellent. That's good. Hope we have friends and family.
As opposed to sometimes when I just talk to myself.
Yeah. There are people out there we know who really love curling, because even if this is on like an off league night, you end up with like 3 or 4 people watching at any time.
Yeah.
So appreciate the. Thanks for jumping in and doing some commentary, though, Jeff.
No problem. I'll probably be back for the next game. I'm going to turn you back over to Ed, and I'm going to go take a little break here.
All right. Given the fact that the game is so tight over on C, I'll probably focus on that one more. Well, I'll let you know what's going on here in the 8th end on C also. It's not so easy for us to get the far A camera, but I can do that for you for the 8th end, for the 7th end, effectively the final end of the game, I think, based on the time limit. Over there on A, as we said before, RIT with red, and has the hammer here in the 7th against the Tufts MIT team, which just took a couple to tie it up in the 6th, and will be looking to steal here in 7. They do have a center guard they can use, and they're trying to come around it. They're by the guard. Is the weight up? This actually looks pretty good. Gonna bury and count, that's for sure. Leaves a lot of room for RIT to get in there, but definitely counting 1 for the moment. Over on C, like we said, it's the game itself in terms of who will win is over. That's going to be SUNY Poly. They're up 11-1 here in the 8th. But for the purposes of tiebreakers, who wins this end is still important. So I'll try to get back to the end of that end. I think they're a shot or 2 behind the game on A, so we should be able to catch the end of that as well. With the number of rocks on A, I don't think we're going to end up with a tie over there. Shouldn't be any chance of a blank at this point. RIT sees their rocks sail through the house, so Tufts Tufts MIT can try to set up a better steal position here. Their counting rock's not bad. It's going to take a good draw to beat it, though I think they would prefer to cut off the forefoot a bit for get some more guards up there. Either that or get a better rock that's counting. They're looking at splitting the house. Without the hammer, that's a bit of a... in an end where really it only matters if they score 1 point. Having a second one split probably isn't going to help them too much. Would prefer to see them aggressively go after the putting something around that center guard. Unfortunately, they actually clipped the center guard, which helps open up the middle more for RIT. Still, Tufts MIT not with a bad setup there with the yellow rocks. That yellow rock back there is in a good position. Definitely still a chance for RIT to beat it if it comes down to outdrawing that rock, but a rock that could cause trouble. Nice looking draw here from RIT. Red is 1 now. It is open, but even if this gets taken out, yellow will either have to leave an open rock, or red did a little bit of work, opened up the scoring area a bit more by pushing that yellow rock towards the edge of the 8-foot. So good shot there. The Tufts MIT combined team now looking to make a hit on that red rock, make a play on it, sit 2. Even a hit and roll out's not bad. It'll leave them sitting 1, and that 1 yellow rock is now very, very buried. This is going to be a good hit, and going to sit back 4. Pretty much forcing RIT to go after it. And in fact, RIT could be looking at throwing the double here, eliminate both yellow rocks, and clear up the center at the same time. That would be certainly be a good result for them. We're commentating on the game you see on the left side of your screen here, tied up at 6 here in the 7th end, which should be the final end based on the timing rules we're using today. Or for this tournament, I should say. Rocks incoming. Looks pretty good. They've got to hold it to catch the inside of that yellow, though. Oh, just slides by and goes through. It's a unfortunate miss, because if they hold that another 3-4 inches, you might not just get the first yellow. You might roll on top of that second yellow, even push it back a little and push it away a little and continue to open up the scoring area. Now instead, we've got a rock on the back 4 for the Tufts MIT team, and a good guard here is going to make it difficult for RIT to score. They still have room, and that rock is in the back of the house, so they can use it as backing, but not going to be an easy road for RIT if Tufts can get a guard up here. I'm going to give you a look at the overhead of that house, just so you have a better idea of what's going on, if you want to take a look. And you can see those Tufts rocks in the back of the house sitting 1-2. And we'll watch the guard, which is on its way, come in before I switch back to the long view. Just want something here that's guarding that rock on the center line, but not too high, since you don't want to be able to draw around this. I would love to have a 3 guard here. This one's actually going to overcurl a bit. Definitely protects the second shooter, the second counter, I should say, but that counter on the back of the butt is going to be open yet again, and expect RIT to go after it one more time. This will be the final vice rock for RIT. right on the rock. Nice hit. Rolls a little bit away from the center too, which is somewhat helpful for RIT playing away from that center guard. Tufts now looking at a hit, which is certainly okay. If you hit and roll behind the guard, that's not bad at all. Also okay just to draw around that yellow guard in the center if you want, although you have to count. Don't necessarily have to count on this rock, of course, but must count sometime in the next two as the skip rocks come. If you're going to throw this hit, I wouldn't throw a ton of weight. Definitely want to get just a small roll, stay inside that 4 foot, maybe get some coverage underneath your yellow guard there that's just off the center line on the right side of the house. Essentially, your goal is just to make this last shot, the last shot when it comes, as difficult as possible for the RIT skip. Remember that since this is the last end, the number of points you score doesn't matter here. 1 point will win it for either team. It's not about setting up a multiple point end, it's just about making sure you score. And for the team without the hammer, that means getting behind something as close to the middle as possible, so you don't leave an open hit and you make the draw as difficult as you can. The Yale SUNY Poly game is actually going at a pretty good clip. Probably because of the score. They're not spending too much time deliberating their shots, and they're getting right up and throwing. We're already in skip rocks over there as well, with SUNY Poly looking to split the house to sit two. Here comes the hit on. Oh! That hit on A was a bit wide. Ticked the guard, comes in and ends up taking out the RIT stone. Fortunate tick there for the Tufts team, but they'll take it, and they're sitting two again, which will force RIT to go after that rock. Can't leave that there and give Tufts a chance to guard. In theory, you could go around, you could throw the draw first and go around the yellow guard and out count it, but I think they're going to be happy to hit this, leave it open, leave the 4 foot open for now, and try to make their final shot as easy as possible. Over on C, Patrick Wong throwing his last shot. I will, both shots are underway, so I'm not going to flip the camera over, but he's looking to make a hit and sit one to at least make Blake Hagberg throw his last rock. Over on A, they're going to make the hit and spill to leave yellow counting. So the situation pretty interesting here on A. We have Tufts counting one, a rock that's not going to be easy to get to, but the entire 4 foot and some of the 8 foot is available for RIT to draw to win the game. So Tufts is going to want to throw a shot here that makes that draw as difficult as possible. A guard's fine, and I feel like that's what they're looking at throwing. You could also consider just improving your rock by trying to draw around the center guard that you have. That guard's a little bit off the center line, so you wouldn't be able to throw something on the button, but you could probably throw something full 4, or at least partially in the 4 foot, and cut down the draw area that way too. Blake Hagberg did make his final hit, which adds 2 points to the score for SUNY Poly. Gives them another end win, which is important for tiebreaker purposes. Brings the final to 13-1 over on sheet C. Just a real strong game for SUNY Poly. They controlled it from start to finish. So both teams still will be right back on the ice, looking to make finals later tonight. All right. Meanwhile, Tufts looking to throw their final rock here. Again, believe they are throwing a guard. Although this has a lot of weight, it could end up being a draw. If they can draw behind, they don't want to leave something open that's hittable for the win. But this could end up curling in behind the guard. If that's the case, they may want to sweep it so that it comes in behind. That is an excellent shot. We'll take a look at that on the overhead, but it looks like that is completely buried and significantly cut down the scoring area for red. Yeah, that's, if it's not completely buried, it's very close, and RIT can't afford to hit and roll out, so it's just going to be a draw. They may be able to use that as a little bit of backing, but it's going to be a draw, and that draw is going to almost have to touch the button to win. Excellent shot there by the skip for the combined Tufts MIT team, and I can find out who that is. The Tufts MIT team skipped by Tyler Page. He wants to say happy birthday, Julie Ehrlich? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but if you're listening, he wrote this yesterday, so I'm thinking your birthday's either yesterday or sometime over the weekend. So happy birthday, Julie, from Tyler Page. RIT, though, still with a shot to win this game, and it's going to come down to making this draw with the opportunity to use that yellow rock as a little bit of backing if necessary. Rock is away there. Sweepers are all over it. They're being yelled to sweep hard. It looks like this might be on the yellow guard, but they're still on it hard. No, it's by. It's by, and it gets all the way to that yellow rock, kicks it back a few feet, and that's going to be one for red, and a very dramatic 7-6 win for RIT over on sheet A. Great game from both teams. That was back and forth the entire way, and two good shots from the skips to end it. So that'll wrap up the noon draw here at the Nutmeg Curling Club for the Yale Super Spiel. Still a long way to go today. We've got 4 more draws to play. We'll be playing all day. Lots of curling to watch. Lots of good college teams here from the northeast, and we'll see which teams can make their way into that A event bracket. The 3 group winners and the top second place team. Scott, if you're still watching, Patrick played the 8th end just because the tiebreaker is ends 1. So the teams are trying to play every end available to them under the timing, since there's likely to be a lot of ties in the standings, and in fact there are guaranteed to be ties in the standings in terms of wins-losses. So that ends 1 tiebreaker could be important as the event goes on. In any case, we'll be back on in not too long from now. I believe the next draw starts at 2:30, so there'll be more curling to watch all day long. We hope to have you back, and we'll see you then.